If shift report is at 7 o'clock, I'm walking through the door at 6:40 to 6:45. That extra 15 to 20 minutes gives me the time to get my whole life together. It's the difference between me fanning myself, looking crazy while I'm trying to get report. It's the difference between me being able to put my stuff away or not. If I need to eat a little snack, say a little prayer, whatever it is I got to do to get my head in the game for this upcoming 13 hours, this is when I do it. Next up is Huddle. Not all hospitals do it, but this is when the oncoming shift meets up with the charge nurse, whether it's a previous or current charge nurse, and they go over relevant information. Now we're ready to get report. But first, coffee. Or your little teamy tea, Herbalife, bang, shoot. You could even throw some octane in there. Whatever it is, just get you some get up and go. After I've gotten report and briefly introduced myself to my patients, it is time to get organized. Yes, I am that person that wipes everything down when I get there because let me tell you something, patients are not the only people who are a little bit dirty. Now it's anywhere from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and before I go in and do a full assessment on my patient, I like to do an additional chart check. This is when I go in and write down my meds, my labs, radiology reports, check my orders. Doctors will do rounds around 9 or 10 o'clock or call, and you do not want to be the person that doesn't have a real answer when they ask what the patient's x-ray looks like or why something hasn't been done. You don't want to be that person. You will look crazy, and your charge nurse will not always come and save you. So take it from me. Write down any questions that you think you may have when they call or when they come around. Um, any concerns, any issues that you have. Be proactive and be prepared. So you've assessed your patient, and based on your assessment and the report you may have gotten, you can now determine the things that you may need throughout your shift. Is your patient incontinent, and do they require frequent changes? Do they have Q1 hour blood sugar checks? Just make sure you stock your room with whatever you anticipate needing throughout the shift, because it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. This particular hospital that I worked at had drawers at the bedside that were stocked with common supplies. And so part of what I would do at the beginning of my shift was look through these drawers to make sure everything was filled. So this drawer, obviously I would stock some more flushes and kind of go through and look and see what else, get some more syringes. Moral of the story is if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Okay? Now it's around med pass time. The majority of your standard meds are going to be due around 9 or 10 o'clock. There's obviously exceptions and it varies. Sometimes meds are timed, so based off the time they were first given, you'll give them again. So it all depends. But the majority of meds are given around 9 or 10 o'clock. This patient that I had specifically had meds at 9, 12, 2, and 6, so it's pretty spread out. Peep that med at 6 though. Tranexamic acid. The med sounds like I'm finna turn my patient into a transformer. We're not just passing medications out here, y'all. We are out here transforming lives, okay? Obviously, this video was recorded on a slower, more ideal day. Ideally, I would be sitting down to chart right now, charting my assessments, patient notes, I's and O's, vital signs, the works. You don't always get the opportunity to chart like during or soon after patient care. And a lot of times it's what keeps nurses after hours is charting. So it's important to try and keep up with it as much as possible because it is a pain. It is such a pain to have to go back and chart on things that you've done in the beginning of your shift. Okay, quick commercial. Nurses, I know y'all are nurses, but I'm going to remind y'all stay hydrated during your shift. Stay hydrated. I don't care how many times you have to pee. Drink water. Night shift nurses typically have a bad rep for eating poorly during their shifts. And, y'all, I really try to have healthy snacks, but as soon as I think I'm doing right and bringing my own healthy snacks, boom, somebody brings this to work. Desperate times, y'all. We in desperate times. So back to the shift. Now, your night, this is where I'm going to have to disclaim that the night can go so many different ways. So this video is showing you the basic things that I do. But this particular night, I had to take my patient to CT like 3 times. Things can just change so suddenly. Patients can turn up and you end up having to put them down. The thing about ICU is that you can go from 0 to code blue bars. Or it can be like a wash, rinse, repeat kind of night where you have your standard tasks and things go smoothly. So it varies. But through it all, I just try and stay alert. I try and do the best that I can to the best of my knowledge, trying to help my coworkers out, and most of all, I try and have fun, you guys. Thanks for following my night in the ICU. I'm finna finish charting because y'all ain't finna catch your girl a minute after 7:30. Okay? Bye.